Journey Through Parenthood with Martina Bills.
Brought to you by Southern Ohio Medical Center. Very good things are happening here.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the WSAZ Now desk for Journey Through Parenthood. I'm Martina Bills. Today's topic is school avoidance. It is a term that you don't really hear much about, but I interviewed Jane Dembski. She is the founder of the School of Avoidance Alliance, and it is pretty much when a child or a student does not want to go to school for a multitude of reasons, but that can really trickle down to have many more effects on that child and their learning process. So we're going to hear from Jane, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about it.
School avoidance is when a child has severe discomfort, distress about going to school. It's not the little, I have a headache, I don't feel well. It is severe, where a child might be crying, screaming, hiding under their covers. That's what it looks like. It's pretty distressing and scary for the family.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That does sound a little frightening. How would you, I mean, this kind of stands out for a parent, but how would you really go about recognizing this? Maybe in the mornings that child is really putting up that fight?
Yes. I mean, you might not see it until the morning when you walk in their bedroom, unless it has been going on for a while. And you might see other signs. I mean, it can start sporadically. It usually doesn't happen all at once where they stop attending school. There usually are signs.
Yeah, so Jane, what are these contributing factors that you see that comes in play with school avoidance?
Well, it's often a mental health issue. A lot of the times, general anxiety disorder, social anxiety, depression, OCD. It can be a learning difference as well. And it can start small and grow. Sometimes the signs are other than not attending school. It can be just having problems with your schoolwork or presentations or avoiding one class.
So Jane, what resources, this sounds like something that parents really or guardians really have to work along with the school over. What kind of resources and really how do you manage this?
Well, this is really important. If a parent starts seeing these signs, there is no wait and see. You must act right away. It's unfortunately, a lot of schools are not educated on school avoidance, so the parent must educate themselves. And that's why we have a website. We give away all this free information. So the first thing parents should do is call the school, ask for a meeting, let them know that you are concerned that this is going to grow into a chronic situation. And bring in what you've learned and talk about interventions and best practices of what works. Parent-school collaboration, early interventions are the indicators for the best outcomes.
Now, is this something the School of Avoidance Alliance that you're involved in here, is this something that you see an age group that it affects more so than the other? Is this kind of a widespread?
This is really a widespread issue. We have a private Facebook group, and we ask the families when they join the group, how old are their children? And it used to be really middle and high school kids, but now it's younger and younger, and kids as young as 5, 6, 7, elementary school. So usually it is mostly middle school and high school as the academics become more rigorous and the schools become larger and more demanding, but it also affects elementary school kids as well.
Okay, now let's talk about school avoidance and truancy. And I know that sounds like they may be similar, but how does dealing with them the same way really impact the children negatively?
So this is a really big issue. Sometimes schools will treat school avoidance like truancy. And truancy, unfortunately, now these kids need help. They're missing school for reasons as well, but they're being treated with punitive responses. That is counterproductive to help a child with school avoidance. We want to welcome the child. We want to make the child feel that they belong and build their self-esteem. So nothing punitive.
Okay, now what kind of resources do you have on the website that parents that are seeing this today can reach out and see there?
So our website has information on how to work with your school, special education and disability law, which often intersects with school avoidance, compulsory education laws, how to work with the school within that and those confines. And we also have an expert course with leading experts around the country who give parents information that otherwise is almost impossible to find. So that is how we help parents. And we also have a peer support group and a private Facebook group.
And Jane, I will just admit that as a parent, I really had not heard the term school avoidance before. It's not something you widely see, and probably now I'll see it everywhere now that we're talking about it today. But how is it that you're trying to spread the word about this to really make sure people understand that there is a difference and something may be a little more serious going on and your child needs some help?
Well, what you were saying is so true. Oftentimes when we meet parents, they say they have never heard of this. That's one of the biggest problems. So thank you for having me on today. We are on a mission to spread the word, through the media. This really should be a known issue. What happens is parents don't know about it. They feel they're all alone. So we are on a mission. I work really closely with the research community and the clinicians who specialize in this and educators who really want to make a difference. And we're really trying to raise awareness through the media and through school districts.
Okay, Jane, is there anything else you can think of that you wanted to make sure people are hearing, especially if they're hearing this phrase the first time?
Just that don't be scared. It could be isolating because we feel that it is our job to get our children to school every day. So if you can't, you feel like you are an inadequate parent, but know that you're not alone.
So Jane Dembski, the founder of the School Avoidance Alliance, a lot of good information about a phrase, school avoidance, that you don't really hear much of, but it is really shining the light on chronically absent children, that there is a severe distress coming from these children when it comes to going to school on a daily basis. I'm going to take you over to their website, schoolavoidance.org. And Jane says that it is full of resources to help you get your child back to school. And this isn't something that you think that it sounds like it might be truancy, but it's very different. And these children might be suffering from a mental health issue, depression, or a learning difference that they really need to address with everyone involved in that children's life. And, Jane said that it really is widespread. It's not specifically younger kids or older kids. She says it is more prevalent in middle school and high school kids because their course loads, their education matter is getting more rigorous and more difficult, but she does see it with those younger children. And I know everyone has had, as a parent, a child wake up in the morning and say they don't want to go to school, but this is when it turns into severe distress on the morning routine of getting your child out of the house and out of the bed. Something is going on. So just some of those resources right here on the website, just School Avoidance 101, modes of therapy, school-based intervention teams, and she said sometimes you have to get a 504 plan or an IEP plan. So this is definitely something that needs to be brought to the attention of everyone in that child's life, whether it's the teachers, the guidance counselors, the principal, and then everyone in their home life as well. And kids these days are really dealing with a lot more than we ever dealt with when we were growing up. So there's a lot of factors that could be playing into school avoidance. So a lot of good information from Jane Dembski with the School Avoidance Alliance. Again, I told her, honestly, I had never heard this phrase before, so it's now something to kind of keep in your mind if your child is struggling getting to school on a regular basis. Here on Journey Through Parenthood, you can always reach out to me on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you have a story idea, just pass it along, and maybe you'll see it featured here on the WSAZ Now Desk. We're here every Monday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock. We hope you have a great day.